Okay. Hello, Urbana 22. I'm Amaya. I'm a student studying architecture at the University of Utah. I'm I'm so honored to be here, and I would like to thank my friends, my family, my staff, and everyone who's helped me along the way. I love you guys so much, and honestly, I don't know what my life would look like without you all. My story is about a journey, a long, hard path of my imperfect, broken growth with Jesus, and how I'll continue to grow with him. I remember some dark times in my life when it was hard to get out of bed. It felt hard to find a genuine smile or laugh. I didn't realize until a lot later in life that this is depression. About a year or so ago, I came to the realization that I was struggling with my mental health and really needed help. So I started going to therapy, and things seemed to be working out. Then my depression got worse again. I felt trapped in a hole. I felt alone and ashamed and really guilty. You see, life around me was good. It was really good. God is good, and I saw evidence of him moving all around me. I saw him in my small group, in my InterVarsity chapter, and on my campus. Despite all of the good in my life, all I could think about was how overwhelming everything was, and how I knew that eternal peace with God sounded a lot better than facing what was in front of me. This sent me down a really dark spiral that included suicidal ideation and crippling anxiety. I found it hard to be around people, hard to muster up the energy to fake a smile, to be happy. I was forcing myself to interact with others. Nothing was genuinely funny anymore, and it was always easier to hide away in my room and just cry. I never felt so trapped and alone and helpless in my whole life. In the middle of all of this, I signed up for a global program in Bosnia and got accepted. And I thought I should be excited about that, but I wasn't. In fact, as I was preparing for that trip, my thinking was really dark again. I was so ashamed of myself because I was raised to be this awesome Christian following God, but I was drowning in depression. I thought to myself, something is truly wrong. I know I'm made in the image of God. I know he fights my battles for me. I know he cares, and I know he sees me. So what's going on? Am I a bad Christian? What am I doing so wrong? Why can't I stop feeling this way, and why can't I stop messing up? It was that night that I called my mom, sobbing uncontrollably, and I told her everything. She urged me to see a doctor the next day, and by the grace of God, my primary care physician had an opening the very next day. So she listened to me and decided to prescribe me antidepressants to help with my depression and anxiety. So I started taking them, and I waited. The thing you may not know about these medications is that it often takes a month or so before you start feeling the effects. And while you wait for that to happen, you don't even know if the medication you're trying is going to work out for you. Chapter camp was right around the corner, and this was about my third or fourth week on antidepressants. I was still feeling depressed, but now with extra serotonin from my meds, so really I just had more energy than usual. I still felt hopeless. I still felt trapped. In fact, I started to make a plan to kill myself at chapter camp. I remember being so casual about it in my mind, like, yeah, this is something that I could do. I ended up saying something about it to one of my really best friends, Abby, which by God's grace, that led to, sorry, it's blurry, and led to a very unwanted yet necessary intervention with my doctor and the University of Utah crisis team. And in all of that, Abby was right there by my side. She was supporting me and loving me. I ended up going to chapter camp, and I came home hopeful. I was depressed, but I was hopeful. On the last night of camp, my mentor and I walked to the place where I planned to end my life, and we prayed together. And from that, I came home with this promise. There's weeping in the night, but joy comes in the morning. In my darkest times, I know that like the sunrise, my joy will come again. Fast forward a few months, and it was time to go on my GP to Bosnia. I was still depressed, but also excited to go somewhere new and really just excited to get away from everything. Despite all of my mental health struggles and barely making it through the semester, God provided the means for me to be fully funded for the trip. All I did was send out my fundraising letters, and God did the rest. Once in Bosnia, something started to happen to me that I really can't explain. I started to be genuinely happy and even joyful. I found so much beauty and wonder and love for Bosnia and my team and our hosts and everyone we met. I loved the food. They will feed you so well in Bosnia, which is crazy because all of my friends here in the States know me to be one of the pickiest eaters. I found myself swept away in God's beauty and love for Bosnia as He removed so many of my fears, insecurities, and doubts coming into the trip. The people around me started to notice a change in me. My staff, my friends, and even my mom, when I called her each week, could tell that something was different. There's one morning in particular when my staff and best friend, Kelly, told me how another staff on the trip described me as this cool girl at first, but then found so much goofiness and joy in me after getting to know me better in Bosnia. That's when Kelly broke down in tears, explaining how I was just starting to relearn how to be myself again. Of course, when Kelly told me this, we started crying because we both knew what this meant. The sun had risen again, and my joy had come with it. I learned that the person that I thought I lost forever, me that's full of true joy and wonder and laughter, was still here inside of me. She always was, and she always will be, because that's who God made me to be. I returned home from Bosnia different than when I left, with more hope and more courage than before. I still struggle a lot, and I still have depression. I'm still taking medication and still going to therapy. What's different now, though, is that I know I'm not alone in this. Each day, I actively choose to put my hope and my trust in God. He's proven Himself faithful to me again and again, no matter how broken I am. I have confidence in God's promise to me that no matter what happens, the sun will rise again and I will receive joy. Or as my Serbian-speaking friends in Bosnia would say, sunce će opet izaći. Thank you.